All right, everybody, welcome back to the bench. So today we're going to talk about two things. One, we're going to go through my 11.5 build just to update you guys on what it is and how it's doing. And then two, I'm going to talk about the Griffin Mark II Ambi lower receiver and how much I have been loving this Ambi lower receiver. I'm going to go through how I have it set up and we'll do all that. But first, I'm just going to go through the 11.5 upper and let you guys know what's changed, what stayed the same, and what I think is cool about it. So let's dig into that first, and then we'll get into the Griffin Mark II Ambi lower and why I love this lower and why it's amazing. It's cheap for an Ambi lower, and yeah, we'll talk about that. Huge shout out to Brownells. Use code BOP10 if you're looking at these Colt 11.5 uppers. Go head on over there, check them out. You can use that same code that I just gave you, and it'll save you a significant amount of money off, even though these are already extremely inexpensive. Now, I did not buy these complete, so that means it didn't come with the BCG or charging handle. One, I had an extra BCG laying around. Not a problem with me. Didn't need it. And then I don't like just plain old charging handle, so it was going to be useless for me to just keep a charging handle just laying around somewhere doing absolutely nothing. So I just bought it stripped. The only thing that's different with the stripped and the non is no bolt carrier group, no charging handle, no rear sight. This is the 6933 or 733 upper, however you want to look at it. It's very nice. It has an 11.5 inch chrome lined 1 in 7 twist barrel, so it's wonderful. Now, it doesn't come with this handguard. This handguard is the Midwest Industries 2-piece handguard. I like it. They're awesome. They're free float. It does require you to remove the delta ring assembly off of the barrel nut. Not a problem for me. I just used a Dremel. Some people may not want to do that. They may want to keep their delta ring assembly complete. That's totally fine. There are other handrail options for this. You can get a Knights drop-in RAS. So you can do whatever you want. But I really like these. They free float it up a little bit. They lighten up the load, and the delta ring assembly is kind of chunky. So why not get rid of it and just run that very, very lightweight barrel nut? Now, the one thing I'm not a big fan of on this gun is running it suppressed is very punchy with the A5H2 system, or the A5-2. I don't know, I'm going to go ahead and just go on a micro rant here. The A5H2 system is nowhere near as good as the Super 42 H2, and I don't know why. I really don't. I've been running the Super 42 with an H2 buffer in this, and it felt great. And then I went over to the A5 H2 running a Springco green spring, and I hated it. And I thought maybe it was because I didn't have a triple braided spring. So then I headed on over to Geisley, picked up the triple braided rifle spring that you could use, and it's so punchy, and it's just not fun. Like I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't necessarily love it, but that's just me. You know, say what you want. It's just not my cup of tea. I know. The A5 was originally created to enhance 20-inch barrels, so if you're going to run an A5 system, put it on a 20-inch gun. Don't put it on one of these. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I personally feel like it's useless on this 11.5-inch setup, especially running suppressed. If you want to go a cheaper route and have a standard carbine buffer tube, get the H2 Super 42 H1 or H3, however you want to do it, whatever your gun feels best with, and just stick with the Super 42 system. I feel like at this point, so many people are just saying get the A5 system, and they don't actually shoot enough, and I've stated this on the podcast. I just don't think people shoot enough with the A5 system. I am running a Sons of Liberty Gunworks A5 with a Geisley Super 42 braided rifle spring and the A5 H2. It's not my cup of tea. I think it's gonna go. I might be returning some parts because it's stupid. Actually, I might put it on my 20-inch. Maybe that it'll live on. Getting into the gun itself. It's punchy with the A5 system. With the standard Geisley system, as I said, it's not super bad. That 11.5-inch barrel is wonderful, unsuppressed and suppressed. Now, if you are going to run suppressed, I do recommend you get the BCM Mark II charging handle. This is their new updated version. I got a video on this. Hopefully I'll be able to put it up in a timestamp somewhere. But yeah, this charging handle is excellent. It has all these things, and it keeps gas out of my eyeballs, especially running suppressed. I am running a forward control design single port brake up front. I'm doing that because the main can that I'm running isn't my can, it's my friend's can. He's got a Dead Air Sandman K, and I wanted to just limit baffle erosion right off the bat by not putting a 3-prong on here, which I would love to have because I like the 3 prongs and they're not as loud as a brake. But I just put a single port baffle on here just so that way when I do run it suppressed almost all the time now, it has no issues. All right, so it does come with a pinned gas block. I love pinned gas blocks. In fact, I don't even build uppers now because I'd rather just buy one that has a pinned gas block. So front sight post, automatic pinned gas block. I'm running a Mod Light PLHV2, I believe. Yeah, PLHV2, running a Mod Light PLHV2, 18350 body with this cool little setup here, the Unity Tactical with the light wing on there. It's fantastic. You don't have to run a backup switch if you don't want to, but I usually do. As you guys can tell, I have beat the crap out of this thing and it just keeps going and there is no issues with it. Now, yes, I am running a vertical foregrip. With the A5 system, the vertical foregrip is semi-decent. I will say I like vertical foregrips more than anything. With the A5 system on 11.5 inch, this gun is now over 26 inches, which means as long as I don't conceal it on my person, you can put a vertical foregrip on here. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's A-okay. You're more than welcome. You can also just SBR the gun and you never have to worry about that again. Now, it does come with a Colt M4 marked upper, so I do believe on the front, I showed this in the past on my other video, it does have M4 markings on there. It's a good upper receiver. I personally don't like the forward assist, but you know, for all the weirdos out there who say that it's mandatory, there you go. I did go ahead and swap out the Forward Control Designs dual dimple port cover, dust cover, whatever you guys want to call it. A lot of people do that. That's probably my favorite dust cover ever. I really like it. Aim point patrol rifle optic. Now, I did go on Amazon and pick up a couple of these extra battery holders because they're really nice, and I just like I like having spare batteries on the optic because sometimes I do forget, like right now, I do forget to turn off the optic. I also went and picked up that $50 Tenebrix anti-reflective device, the ARD. I really like it. I think for a gun that you're gonna like sneak around with or whatever, I think it would be fun. Now, I just LARP on the range, so I just wanted to have all the stuff for LARPing, and yeah, that was pretty cool. Then head on into the Leap. I think it's the Leap 13 or 14. I'll post it up right now. But the Leap mount for the patrol rifle optic. They used to make one that encompassed the entire optic, and you'd have to take off the original piece. This one is for the Comp M4 and the patrol rifle optic with the original stuff. I literally, it's so easy to go from running this chunky guy right here, which I had a SKD 193 riser, to just going over to the 193 riser for the patrol rifle optic, which I absolutely love. No, you cannot co-witness your irons through here. You can't. It's just something that you can't do. Well, what I will say is I do like how this thing is QD. It is very nice and it works really well. All you got to do is just loosen this guy up and you can pop your optic off if need be. Is it as fast as, you know, other options or being able to just have your irons through there? No. But if you're in a gunfight, you know, chances are everything's gone wrong anyway. So that's enough about the upper. There's nothing crazy about it. It's very nice. I like it. It's been well over 3,000 rounds, majority of that suppressed, and it still looks very good. There's no problems with it. It works really well. It's been beat up, it's been dropped, it's been stepped on. I mean, the Midwest Industries two-piece rail is really nice. The Unity, I did have another Unity on here. In fact, it was this guy. But as you can tell, two of those screws came out of there, and then I went over and talked to Mod Light, and they were like, yeah, you have to fill out all this stuff. And I was like, this is stupid. I'm not filling out your form. I just left the two screws in there, and I put on some extra Loctite on those screws. And yeah, there you go. It still works. It's not a problem. But Mod Light, your customer service is kind of garbage that you make me fill out an RMA for everything, even though I just sent you an email with all the information in there. Again, it's your personal preference. If that's what you want to do, there you go. I will go through the bolt carrier group real quick. Bolt carrier group is a Roscoe bolt. A Roscoe carrier. I went with a JP Enterprises enhanced bolt. I like the bolt so far. I don't have enough rounds on it to tell you guys really if it does anything different. I really can't feel it, but it does feel nice, and it's automatically going to fail the ring test because it uses a one-piece ring, and the one-piece ring's not as good as the three-piece rings. Again, you can say what you want to say about it. I don't personally love the one-piece ring, but I like the enhanced bolt carrier, or the enhanced bolt profile, and it's just rated to handle more than just standard bolts. Plus, the bolt that I was running on there, it was such a pain to clean. I wanted to swap it out to this guy, and it works really well, and I like it. As you guys can see there, the JP part, It's wonderful. I like it. Roscoe carrier, JP bolt. You can go pick these up at Brownells too. Use code BOP10 and you get everything with it. You get the cam pin and do all that. Oh, by the way, I switched out the cam pin because I didn't like theirs, and I went with a Forward Control Designs dimpled one, just so that way I know how the cam pin is supposed to orient every single time. Now, apparently that's a thing. I'm testing that out to really see if that is actually a thing. But yeah, there we go. And we already talked about the charging handle. The Ambi Mark II Griffin lower. Now this is a Griffin, not an ADM, as you guys can see there. First of all, I don't care if you see my serial number, whatever. The Griffin, it does look like the ADM Mod 1 or Mod 2 or whatever it is. They look identical. I don't know why, but if you pick one of these up, if you have military, law enforcement, you're a firefighter, anything like that, you can pick up one of these lowers for about $186 shipped. It was really nice. Now, if you're not, it's about 215 bucks. That's $100 cheaper than an LMT. That's a lot less expensive than a lot of the other stuff if you're out there and you're looking for a left-handed ambi lower. I do like this one. Now, comparing it to my LMT, I do feel like this one is lighter, it feels better, and it just overall, the ergonomics are almost the same. The only thing different is the LMT you're able to push up here, whereas this one you have to pull this down. That's really the only difference. It's not a problem. I don't hate it, but it's just one of those things that is what it is. Now I'm running the Geisley SD3G trigger in here. It's an 11.5. It's really nice. I am running Forward Control Designs takedown pins, which I will be switching this out for Geisley's because they're green and they're the only ones I had on hand until I could get the Geisley ones in, and they're about a week and a half away because apparently everything's covered in snow. B5 grip, and then I'm running my SB Tactical brace. And then A5 H2, it's, again, I won't even go into the disappointment of the A5 system for me, but I know a lot of people are out there talking about how wonderful the A5 system is. You know, again, I think it's a gimmick. That's my personal opinion. I realize you're going to get very emotionally attached to what I'm saying. That's a-okay. I get it. The one thing I will tell you is stop believing everything on the internet and do your own research. Like, you don't have to believe me. You can go out there and say, oh, it's wonderful and amazing. I'm telling you right now, it's punchy and it sucks. Ambi features on this are very nice. The magazine release is extremely positive. It is in a different spot than my LMT. My LMT is right here, whereas this one is up here. It's a little bit different getting used to, but because I run the Forward Control Designs Ambi magazine release on a couple of my other non-Ambi lowers, it's in the exact same spot. So it works, it feels nice, it doesn't protrude, you don't hit anything, it doesn't just knock out magazines like the CMT one that I used to have did, and yeah, it's pretty sweet. The magwell is a ton better than a Geisley magwell. So if you're running a Geisley Super Duty lower receiver, their magwell is literally just straight walls. This one has a little bit of a funnel to it, but not an excessive amount. It's nowhere near LMT levels. I like my LMT. My LMT is probably one of my favorite lower receivers, especially when it comes to that magazine well funnel and all that other stuff. But yeah, so far I've got about 500 or 400 rounds on this lower receiver. A lot of those magazine changes have been a lot better with this overall. But I can't really complain about it. I like this lower. It's a fantastic lower. And if you guys are out there and you want an Ambi lower and you don't want to spend $400 on an ADM, go pick up one of these Griffin Mark IIs. They're fantastic and I absolutely love them. So yeah, I will give these guys a 10 out of 10. The Griffin Mark II Ambi lower. I love it. So yeah, that's my 11.5 build. I'm not going to go ahead and state, like, I'm not going to give you guys like an insane review, but I love how I have this gun set up. This gun set up for me it's perfect. It's what I like. Everything is where I want it, and there we go. The only thing I don't love is the A5 system. Again, I won't harp on it anymore. That's one of the only cons. But I love how this gun is set up. It's maneuverable, it's light, it's not very heavy. Again, I will throw a loaded and unloaded weight of this all together in. It's just a fantastic little gun. I mean, the Colt 11.5 uppers are, fantastic. They're wonderfully gassed and they just work all the freaking time. And you really can't complain. So if you guys are out there and you want to pick one of these up, again, go head on over to Brownells, use code BOP10. It is fantastic. I hope you guys go pick one up. And again, I will quit saying fantastic because I keep saying it, and it's, just one of those things when you get in a habit of saying something. So As always, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please let me know if you need anything. You can support the channel with likes, subs. If you don't want to monetarily support it, super thanks and all the other fun stuff. You guys are more than welcome to join and do anything like that. And if you guys join, if I get enough people who join, maybe I can start doing some more members exclusive stuff over here. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoy. As always, be a hoodlum.
202. Oh. 202.
Oh!
He's down. $563.
563. Does that count as a line breaker? No, it doesn't. All right, so one low. I got the rest in here. It's not bad.